Hey, everybody. We are so glad you're here tonight. I mean, it is an amazing Monday, and you could not have picked a better place to be at this time of your day. Whether you're on the West Coast, East Coast, Central Mountain, you are in the right place because you're going to hear an amazing presentation tonight. You're going to learn about tons and tons of money. When I say money, I mean money, like sick money, like money that makes people like change lifestyle money. And then you're going to hear from like people who have walked the journey, and it's going to be amazing. Aren't you guys excited? Everybody say I'm excited, like in the chat, like with like big, like hurrah, say hoorah. Can everybody say hurrah? Sonora, tell them how to spell it. Hoorah. There you go. Go, Jackie. All right. Well, welcome everybody. We're going to give a few more seconds for people to get on. We have about 26 people on now. We're going to go through a lineup here in a second, and we're just excited that everybody's on this evening. You're going to hear from some amazing individuals this evening, and I am so blessed to be able to host this evening. You're going to hear from my friend and colleague and mentor and amateur bowler, Mr. Jim Tanner. He has been in this business for right at 20 years. You're coming up on your 20-year anniversary, right, Jim? Yeah. He is a $200,000 ring earner, Millionaire Club member, Super Saturday, Sensational Sunday host extraordinaire. He is the person that people want on their Zooms. He is the person that every team wants in front of their people. I mean, he's the person who gets real. He's the person who stays real. He's not arrogant. He is an amazing person. He has written this book called On Purpose. And if you have not read it, let me tell you, it is life-changing. The first chapter, you will have to sit and think for about an hour before you move to the next chapter because it is truly meaningful. I mean, I have like 3 or 4 of them around my house, and the binds are all broken on them. And I have like little tabs all in them, and they're in my car. And not on the plane though. Tammy's mad I didn't have one on the plane for you to sign for her, but I'm bringing one to Atlanta, and Tammy, we're mailing it to you. But I'm going to introduce to you this amazing person. His name is Jim Tanner. And if you have not heard him speak before, you are in for a treat tonight. So I will turn it over to you, Mr. Tanner, and everyone sit back, get a pen and paper, and listen.
Venus Powers, thank you very much. That's a great introduction. I really appreciate it. I think because you said 20 years, and I think, sometimes I'm a parent, so some of you are parents and grandparents, and you would say the same thing about children. The time goes fast. And while I love that it's been 20 years, I think that got the attention of some of our guests tonight. 20 years. What has this guy been doing for 20 years? But I'll tell you what, it has been the fastest 20 years of my life. What I'm going to show you right now, I saw it 2 decades ago. I chose to get involved. It made sense. I'm going to tell you a little of my story as I go, but I'll tell you this. When you do something that you are passionate about, that you love, and that you get up in the morning to do, and you go to bed at night thinking about, you truly will never work a day in your life. And that's been my journey so far. Now, I don't know if that's going to be your story. I want to talk about what could be your story. And this is our incredible company, and this presentation I'm going to do, and I'm going to do my best to keep it brief. We call it a briefing. I guess they put that in the title just to give people like me a clue about how long it should be. We call it a briefing, but the fact is that I've got a story of a company that's 51 years old that serves 4.4 million customers. I've got my own story of 20 years of being on this journey with so many others. But we're going to keep it brief because what we really want to reveal to you today is how this could be your story and how many different ways you could shape that story. Because this is a completely new time in the United States and Canada and the world. The fact is that today we're in this work from anywhere revolution. And people want something that maybe they always wanted, but they didn't really pursue before things that happened like COVID and the lockdowns and this period of time that we all went through, which none of us predicted we would ever have to live through as adults. So people do want an opportunity to earn great income. Of course, they want time. And they want the freedom that comes with creating their own schedule, being in charge, calling the shots, being the boss, the flexibility that comes with that as well, and the independence. But the reality is that when you're in a work from anywhere revolution, what happens is you become competitive with a global workforce. And some of you are feeling that right now. Some of you are in situations where all of a sudden, because people are working from home or working from anywhere, the work that you traditionally did that was really only available, your competition lived in your neighborhood, lived on your street sometimes. And today there's a global economy. And to compete in a global economy, you have to have ownership. That's something I totally understand. If today's the first time you're hearing that advice, I'm grateful I get to give it to you. Let me say it one more time before I move on. In this global economy that we have today, for you to truly be competitive, you have to have ownership, not just a world where you work for someone else, because not just micromanagement, not just the frustration of somebody else telling you when to come and go, but the fact is in a global workforce, they have so many options. The people that would otherwise employ you, they can find someone to do it cheaper. Someone can do it halfway across the world that you can't compete with here in the United States or Canada, right? So that shift has got a lot of people looking for things they were never looking for before. And I remember at 28 years old, 20 years ago, I wasn't competing in a global economy. There was barely an internet. I didn't have an email address. YouTube hadn't happened. Google wasn't a thing. But I did learn something. See, I was working a full-time job delivering furniture during the day. I had a part-time job working at the mall at night. And between those two jobs, I was routinely working and commuting 80 hours a week. The problem with that was that I also was getting further and further behind every week. I was sometimes choosing between gas for my car and food. So my basic needs were mostly met with that job, but I couldn't get ahead. And sometimes I was slipping behind. You know, I was one car repair away from disaster. Some of you know what that feels like. Well, I didn't know why that was. I was certainly working hard. I just wasn't getting anywhere. And I learned when I came to this company, that's because I was only working for one kind of income, linear income. I was trading time for money. I worked for an hour, got paid for an hour. That was the end of the relationship. The challenge with that, though, is that I eventually ran out of hours I could trade for money. So I didn't have any leverage. That's another form of income, is leverage income, where you can work collaboratively with a team of professionals. And you've seen this in you know, all around you in the community. When I say something like you could work with a team and have the income potential that's leveraged, that might not sound like much that you could picture, but just picture your local real estate broker, a real estate broker that has real estate agents that's in the community, helping people buy their dream home, helping people sell their home because their kids are grown and they're downsizing. They're doing real service in the community. They're helping people, and that real estate agent is earning a great income. But that real estate broker that works with the agent to make all of those things happen also earns a great income, a small percentage off of all of the sales that agent makes. Well, that's the same thing as leveraged income. And I'm going to show you how in our business, you have the ability to position yourself like an insurance broker, like a real estate broker, like other people that have leverage. And then residual income, something that I had no idea at 28 years old when I joined this company would change my life. Change my life. That's a bold promise when I say in a presentation that I'm going to show you something that changes your life. But I've been doing this now for 20 years. And one of my first customers that signed up for one of our flagship products that I'm about to show you, she signed up when I first got started 20 years ago, and 20 years later, she still has this plan today. And every month, I have been paid, again, a residual income on that thing I did one time, which was reveal to her that this product exists. Let me ask you a question. I think it's a fair question. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but it's a fair question. What are you getting paid on right now that you did 20 years ago? And the more important question is, do you like the answer to that question? See, that's why I know with my heart and soul that I was born to share this information with you, because it was revealed to me that I could have a completely different situation. All I had to do was get new information. Different situation because I got different information. And that's the information I want to give to you today. So if you are looking at opportunities, if you are keeping your options open, whatever it is, I'm going to make the case for what we do. That's why I'm here to do this presentation. You were invited by somebody who cares about you, that wants you to see it. I'm going to do my best to make the case for what we do. But for whatever you do, these are the 5 areas you've got to look at. You've got to have a company that's rock solid. There has to be a need in the marketplace for what that company does. Like, is there a customer crying out for the solution that this company offers? Then there has to be a product that has been positioned, created, improved, even perfected to answer that need in the marketplace. You have to ask yourself, is the compensation fair or lucrative, or can it be transformational for me and my family? Because if I'm going to go do something where I have to probably learn some new skills, maybe get outside of my comfort zone for the first time in a long time, I want to be well compensated for that. And what about the timing? Is it too early? Is it too late? Did I miss it? Am I going to be somebody that has to forge the path through the jungle? Am I going to be the pioneer that has to figure it all out? Or did it already happen and I just missed it and I'm hearing about it too late? All of these things are the 5 areas that you have to consider. So I'm going to make the case for mine in the next handful of minutes. I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to come back to this slide. We're going to bookend it like this. I'm going to show you what I want to show you, tell you what I want to tell you, and then I'm going to come back to this slide and just wrap it all up for you. So let me start by talking about our company. This is the founder of our company's name, Harlan Stonecipher. And you also see not only is there a picture of this great man, but there's also a picture of a car accident. Mr. Stonecipher was in a tragic car accident, and he was nearly killed in that accident. And the way the story goes, and by the way, this is from his autobiography where he tells the story himself. Mr. Stonecipher was in this accident, nearly killed in the hospital. And the lady that ran through the intersection in rural Oklahoma and hit him and almost killed him, she was the one that was found at fault by the highway patrol. She got all the tickets, but here's what happened. She sued Mr. Stonecipher. Mr. Stonecipher was not a wealthy man. He was a full-time teacher. He was a part-time life insurance agent, and he had to drain his family's life savings to defend this frivolous lawsuit. And while he was laying in the hospital, again, from his own book, from his own words, he said he realized that there was something missing in the way he could protect his family and his finances. He said, I had life insurance. Had I not made it, my family would have been compensated. I had car insurance to get a new car. I had insurance for while I was in the hospital to pay all the hospital bills. But the one thing he didn't have in place was a protection for when the legal system became unjust and justice became out of reach. And what Harlan Stonecipher did when he realized that that didn't exist in the United States, he did what so few people would do. He decided to change the world. And from that car accident, from his own kitchen table, Harlan Stonecipher started the company that you see here today. This is our $30 million campus in rural Ada, Oklahoma, where today, a business that was started in 1972, this building houses 700 of our employees, some that have been with us for years and even decades. And today we protect and empower 4.4 million lives, our customers, your neighbors, what we call members across the United States and Canada. Now, a business that Harlan Stonecipher started on his kitchen table that he took to 4.4 million customers, that he took to the American Stock Exchange, to the NASDAQ, to the New York Stock Exchange, to a $650 million acquisition by MidOcean Partners. This was our story so far. And today, by the way, with the power of our equity partners, we're a $2 billion company. But it all started with Harlan Stonecipher's vision, because he had been on the other end of this imbalance of power, and he realized that things needed to change. So here is our vision, by the way, to provide equal access to liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that every human deserves. And while you may have never seen this photo of our home office, you may have never heard of Harlan Stonecipher before today, or me, or anything else you're going to learn, I want you to know that not only do we have 51 years of history, but we've been written up in Forbes, Yahoo Finance, CNBC, Bloomberg. USA Today said it sounds like healthcare before it became $1 trillion industry. So what is it that we do, and how is it that we're changing everything, and why are so many people so excited? It's because of a disruptive innovation. And remember, I said when you're looking at an opportunity, you got to have the right things in place in the right order. Otherwise, it's just not going to fly for you. So a disruptive innovation simply means that you don't invent something new. You take something that already exists, you make it simpler, easier, and more affordable. And I'll just give you a couple of examples for the sake of time. You used to shop at the mall. I used to shop at the mall. That's what we did. If we needed something, we would go and shop. We'd look for it. We'd drive all over town for the color, the size, the price. We don't do that anymore. We have Amazon. On our own phone, in our own pocket, we tap a few buttons, and the thing we want shows up at our doorstep 48 hours later, 24 hours later, sometimes the same day. Amazon didn't invent retail. They just made it simpler, easier, and more affordable. And now it's $1 trillion business because of that. Let's talk about buying music. Whether it's Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, or any of the others, we don't go to the music store anymore. We don't flip through the records and buy a whole album because we want to listen to one song. We don't have to have that big suitcase full of cassettes or 8 tracks. Some of you tell on yourselves about your age, because I had one of those too, the big leather suitcase that you had in the car with all the cassettes in it, and it was one of the kids' job to DJ from the back seat and hand the cassettes over. You know what I'm talking about. We don't have to rewind. We don't have to fast forward to find the next song. Anything we want at the touch of a button on our own phone in our own pocket. That's the way that this world has changed. Well, what about the justice system? What about what happened to Harlan Stonecipher? What would that look like in 2023? It looks like this. In the palm of your hand is called Legal Shield. And Legal Shield is this powerful suite of services for $29.95 a month, $1 a day for a subscription to a mobile app. By the way, that price includes your entire family. I'll show you who those family members can be in a moment. But I just want to put it in your mind what this does, because here's what I know. You understand how Amazon works. You're already doing it. Here's what I know. You understand how music works. You're already doing it. But here's what I also know. You think that you're not using attorneys because you don't get in trouble. You're saying to me, I don't need a lawyer. I've never needed a lawyer. I don't break the law, Jim. But that's not what we're talking about. The question is not, do you break the law? The question is, if you didn't have to check your checking account before you checked your rights, would you want to know what your rights were in every situation? So I just want you to just go with me for a second. I'm going to take you on a quick mental exercise. Let's say that you were my attorney. And I came to you and I said, listen, I don't want to pay you $300 an hour for your services anymore. I want you to quote me one flat monthly fee for all the services I need. And I'm just going to stroke you one check a month. And by the way, I've already showed you here on the screen what Legal Shield subscription is per month. Let me ask you this question. As you're playing this role play with me, could you get your services down to $29.95 a month? If, for example, I needed you to be available by phone to answer all of my legal questions, an unlimited number of issues, every legal question I have, so I don't have to ask my cousin who's not a lawyer or Google it, or just hope for the best, or stick my head in the sand and hope nothing happens. I can have a real expert in the real area of law that I have a question and answer my question so I always know what my rights are. That's what I want you to do as my attorney. I want you to do that for me all the time. I also want you to review every document before I sign it. Whether it's a gym membership, a cell phone plan, or anything else, whether it's super important or super casual, before I sign any document that somebody else's attorney, by the way, wrote to protect their best interests, and then it's placed in front of me and I'm supposed to understand it and sign it, or I'm supposed to click agree on a screen, I don't want to do that anymore. I want you to step in and read it because you're the lawyer and you understand it. I want you to redline it and get stuff out of it so that those things that I would otherwise agree to, I don't end up agreeing to. A friend of mine not long ago bought a new car, sent the document over to the attorney, over to their Legal Shield attorneys to have it reviewed before they signed the document to take ownership of the new car. And the attorneys found in there a $500 additional fluff fee for vehicle preparation. It was a car wash for $500. The attorney said, hey, cross that out and you got a deal. My friend said, my attorney said, if I cross this out, I got a deal. They crossed it out. They had a deal. That was $500. The peace of mind of having an attorney review this. So I want you to do that for me as my attorney. Also, I want you to write letters and make phone calls for me whenever I'm being bullied or pushed around. I'm not being treated fairly. I can't get a phone call back. Well, all these things that happen where normally I would say, let me speak to your supervisor, or I pound my fist, or I threaten or raise my voice. I don't want to do that anymore. I want you to just take care of it for me. I'll tell you a story from my own life, by the way. Here's what happened when I first got my membership, which, by the way, was 10 years before I ever joined this business, because I had no idea that I could be involved in the business I'm sharing with you today. But a man came into where I work delivering furniture, signed me up for a plan. I got to use my plan not long after because I was trying to move and my landlord wasn't giving me my security deposit back. Actually, what he said was, Jim, you'll never see this $500. Now, I hadn't broken the lease. I didn't damage the property. I worked all the time. I wasn't barely ever there, didn't have a pet or anything like that. He just didn't think that I had any recourse. So I called my attorneys. I told them what the situation was. They overnighted a letter to him because they understood the urgency. Here was the urgency. I was just a broke kid. If he kept that $500, I wouldn't have been able to afford to move. I think he knew that. And so my attorney stepped in. They overnighted a letter so that he knew that I had representation, that I had real attorneys, and that they demanded that he released that security deposit. And the moment he got that FedEx envelope and read that letter, he called me at work and he said, Jim, come and get this check. I don't want any problems from your attorneys. That's the power. I've had that power since I was 19 years old. I'm here today to talk to you about helping us put this power in everybody's hands. But back to my example. So as my attorney, I want you to do that for me. I also want you to do my will, my living will, my healthcare power of attorney, my financial power of attorney. I want all of those estate planning documents in place because I want to be responsible. And by the way, not only do I want you to do that for me, even though most people never do it, About 20% of Americans get that done. I want you to update it every year for me, which almost nobody that ever gets their will done does that. You know why? Because it's expensive. It's complicated. But since you're my attorney and I'm not going to have to pay anything extra, I want you to do these things for me. And the reason I want you to update it every year is because every time I buy a car, sell a car, buy a house, sell a house, start a new job, retire, get married, get divorced, have a kid, have a grandkid, I need a new will. And even if none of those life events happen that year, the laws are probably going to change. So I want you to review everything and make sure it's up to date. That's what I want you to do. I also want you to represent me in traffic court. If I get a traffic ticket down the street, going to the grocery store or all the way across the country, I want you in that traffic courtroom talking to the judge on my behalf, because I know he might not want to hear what I have to say, but he'll listen to my attorney. I also don't want to just plead guilty to a crime and then watch my car insurance rates go up, not just for a year, but for years and years into the future. Maybe just for some one-time mistake. Maybe I just wasn't paying good attention. Maybe. Who knows what the real outcome would have been without my attorney there. So I want you to do that for me. I want you to be there when the IRS comes calling. I want you to be there if I have any questions about I'm getting sued civilly or anything about that. I want you to be there so that I have peace of mind. And by the way, I want you to be there 24 hours a day. That's right. I want you to sleep with your cell phone on. I want you to be there at 3 o'clock in the morning, because if myself or a member of my family is getting questioned, arrested, detained, good kid, wrong place, wrong time, we can't wait for your office to open at 9 o'clock the next morning. I need you to be at the other end of that phone when we call. Now, if you were my attorney, what would you have to charge me is the question that we ask. And of course, it's a facetious question, right? Because the real question is, could you do that for $29.95 a month? Now, some of you, the cynics, the skeptics that are here, you're saying, well, what kind of attorney do you get for $1 a day? You know, have they even passed the bar? Are they brand new attorneys? Are they people that want to be attorneys someday? Are they paralegals? Is it AI? No, these are the best attorneys that money can buy, because obviously you already know this. It's not your dollar a day or my dollar a day. It's the combined buying power of 4.4 million customers paying in. As a matter of fact, last year we paid our law firms $110 million. When you call your law firm, they're not doing you a favor. This is not discount law. This is not a free consultation. You are, in most cases, their most important client. And today, 6,000 of our attorneys stand ready answering the phones with an average experience level of 22 years as an attorney. That's what Legal Shield is. That's the peace of mind that you and everybody in your community can have. And who gets this app on their phone? The member, their spouse or domestic partner, their never married dependent children under the age of 26 living at home, or full-time students, and dependent children under 18 for whom the member is the legal guardian, and any physically or mentally disabled children living at home. Now, we have 2 flagship products, but that is incredible. What we've done is we've taken $300, $400, $500 an hour attorneys and put them within reach at $1 a day of most every family in the United States and Canada. That's a powerful opportunity. Now, we have one other flagship product I want to talk about today called ID Shield. And ID Shield, first of all, does exactly what you think something called ID Shield would do. It monitors what matters. And you've seen plenty of commercials, maybe you even have services that do some kind of monitoring, whether it's your credit score, your social security number. You've got that. You understand how that works. And by the way, ID Shield does this better than anybody else because they monitor everything that matters. By the way, your identity and your credit score are 2 very different things. Your identity, I want to make sure you know this, is your good name in the community. It's who you are. It's what people say about you when you're not in the room. And so when these thieves get your identity, they're not just getting access to your credit. They're not just getting access to your credit score. They're getting access to who you are. And they can do incredible damage. As a matter of fact, 50% of identity theft victims have warrants issued for their arrest. And by the way, on the side of the road, if you got pulled over because you had that little light out on your license plate, and you got pulled over and you're talking to a law enforcement officer that says that you have a bench warrant because somebody else that has your identifying information got a speeding ticket and didn't show up in court, and you say, that wasn't me, officer, the problem with that is that's what everybody says to the officer. And it's not the officer's job, by the way, to litigate that on the side of the road. It's just their job to bring in. And so at that moment in time, you really, it doesn't matter what your credit score is because you have a bigger issue than that. So I want to make sure you understand we're talking about your real identity. And by the way, ID Shield does something that nobody else can do, which is called comprehensive restoration. That's a $3 million protection plan for your identity theft related losses, and licensed private investigators come in and they do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to restore your identity, your good name, who you are in the community, to the pre-theft status. That's why everybody awards us as best at this world called identity theft, because the thieves, when they come to your door, when this lands at your doorstep, when it happens to your friends and family, it's devastating, and most people don't know what to do or where to start. We're not experts in this, but the experts are standing by. As a matter of fact, identity theft is really the only crime where you're guilty until you can prove yourself innocent. I mean, how do you prove who you are when somebody's questioning that? That's why you need experts on your side. And you can get an individual plan to cover yourself for $19.95 a month, or you can cover a family for $34.95 a month. And who's in the family? Well, obviously the individual plan is you as the member, but the family also includes your spouse or domestic partner and up to 10 dependent children under the age of 18. It also provides consultation and restoration services for dependent children 18 to 26. Now, I want to talk to you about the opportunity, because really I'm here to share with you the services and the opportunity. I'm going to do that in just a moment, but I want you to know that we have this incredible wheel of opportunity. So I showed you Legal Shield and ID Shield. Those are our flagship products. I could spend a great deal of time digging deeper into the wheel, and I'm not going to have time to do that with you today. But we have a solution for small business owners that allows you to help a small business have the same legal muscle as a Fortune 500 company. We have the ability to bring Legal Shield and ID Shield to companies to protect their employees and make this part of their voluntary employee benefits package, where you can sign up dozens or even hundreds of employees on the job site all at once. We have a plan for commercial truck drivers, the people that keep our economy rolling as they move goods across the map in 18-wheelers, where we have protection for them as well. We have supplements for people that own a firearm, for people that do rideshare driving like Uber and Lyft, and others as well. In other words, the wheel of opportunity in our company is incredible. And tonight I only have time to touch on a little bit, but we'll get you all the information about these different areas of focus where you can maximize this opportunity. And remember, I talked about you have to have the product, that the solution in the marketplace has to be within reach of the consumer that it serves. And part of within reach means priced within reach. And as you can see with the pricing, $64.90 to cover a family with both Legal Shield and ID Shield, to cover the entire family, we're priced within reach. But Member Perks is a program that allows us to get even closer to the folks that might feel a little bit of a strain at that price point. Because our Member Perks program, and by the way, as an opportunity, takes this no-brainer opportunity, makes it a double no-brainer, I think. What it does is we've taken the biggest brands on planet Earth, and we've said, hey, listen, we have 4.4 million customers. What kind of deep discounts would you like to offer them so that they would do business with you? And so we've been able to aggregate the biggest discounts you would ever see. As a matter of fact, in our family, the discounts we realize through Member Perks far exceed the investment in our Legal Shield and ID Shield membership every month. Now, for some people, that's cell phones and your gym membership. For some people, it's travel, like rent a car. For some of us, it's things like Disney Plus, and entertainment, hardware and software, all the things that we're already spending money on. The Member Perks program, our average family is saving $49 per month every month with Member Perks, which is really powerful. Now, I want to show you the compensation plan. And I understand that we don't have a lot of time together here. It's 9:28 p.m. on the East Coast. You're here to look at this incredible opportunity, but I just want you to see just how powerful this is, because just for helping somebody discover that Legal Shield and ID Shield exists, and now that you know they exist, you're going to tell other people about them anyway. This is a business opportunity where you can get paid $70 when somebody gets these services because you shared it with them. And all they have to do really is go to your website, which we'll provide for you. They can sign up. It takes about 3 minutes. And that's the power of this, is that it's easy. We've simplified the whole process. We've created a system. So no matter how busy the individual is that's watching this presentation right now, like I was busy, 80-hour weeks, and I still was able to launch this business. And actually, my goal was to leave both of those jobs behind. And because of this business, I was able to do that in short order because of this powerful system that we have. So a business that you can start right now for $49, which, by the way, is correct. I know some of you are saying, well, I think he said $49, but he meant $49,000. It's $49. It's actually less than the administrative cost our company incurs to set you up as a new associate in this business. Now, why are we doing that? Because the business model here is that we want to protect individuals and families, business owners and their employees. We want to impact communities with these services. So we don't want the cost to get started to stop you from getting started. And the fact is that the startup fee in our business model is not part of our profit motive. We just want to help you get started, and we have a few expenses we have to offset with that. So that $49, you're in profit by signing up your first customer, earning $70 as a 1-year advance commission. And by the way, in this business, unlike when I used to deliver furniture during the day, it was always somebody else's decision if I got a raise or if I got a promotion. Here, it's totally up to you. After you protect a few families, you can move up to the senior associate level, and now you're earning $90 every time somebody signs up for the services on your recommendation. And right now, we have a special bonus program that not only can you earn $100 for fast start qualifying, we call it, and doing that in your first 20 days, but that bonus has been doubled to $200. So today, we have the ability to offer you this incredible business model and a $200 bonus for getting started right away. And continue going up, earn at the manager level $120 when you protect a few more families. And that bonus has been increased as well for a total between the manager and the senior associate bonus of $700 today. So this is for a limited time, and it's exciting. And just so that I can move quickly, I just want to take you to the executive director level in our business model, because this is $370 every time a member of the organization, every time somebody that you share this membership with goes to your website and signs up for a plan. That's what's so powerful about this, is they are going to be in a position to get these great services, and you're going to earn $370. As an executive director, if you did that 5 times a month, you'd earn $1,850 a month. That's a nice part-time income. But if you do that weekly instead of monthly, you're earning $96,200 a year in incredible income. Now, I want to show you one other thing that I touched on before when we were getting started, which is that just like an insurance broker or a real estate broker, you can earn leveraged income. So I showed you the 1-year advance commission, which, by the way, means you're funded on day one, earning $370 as an executive director in 1-year advance commission. And we get those deposits 7 days a week, not the first Friday, not the third Wednesday, not the harvest moon. Every time there's an event in our business where we should be earning income, that income is dropped into our checking account. So again, as an executive director, $370. But just like an insurance broker or a real estate broker, you have the ability to earn leveraged income. Let's say I'm a new associate on your team, and I sign up my first customer, and you're my executive director. I got my $70 for signing up. I'm in profit mode on my new business. I'm excited, but you as my executive director earn $300 as an override. If I do that 5 times a month, you're earning over $1,000 in overrides. What if you had 5 of me? What if you had 10 of me? Now you can see why we're having so many people succeeding in our business and so excited about their way they're succeeding, because not only are they able to win by helping people in their communities, but they're also able to build a team and help people win by creating a new income stream for their family as well. This is what we call transferring leadership. And as you as an executive director help other people move up to the executive director level, in the process of growing your team, once you've helped 4 people reach executive director, we have bonuses that will pay out to you as a leader $50,000. That was just announced last week, and it's an incredible, exciting bonus opportunity to transfer leadership, to become a leader and learn leadership skills, and then share those skills with others. So I'm going to let you hear from a few folks here in a moment that are on this journey with me. But before I do, I want to talk about Performance Club, because I showed you what we do. Legal Shield and ID Shield is serious, and the impact it has on communities where people have a voice and advocacy is important work. And the money is clearly serious, with 1-year advance commissions, getting paid 7 days a week, which creates cash flow for you and your family. And the fact that you own your residual book of business, meaning every member that stays on the books continues to pay you monthly for the life of every membership, not for your life or my life, meaning that you can create a willable book of business, an asset that you can leave to your family as well. So we do serious things, but we also love to have fun. And we have a program called Performance Club, which allows you to earn incentive trips all over the world and cash bonuses. As a matter of fact, just protecting a few families a month with our services will allow you to earn anywhere from $200 to up to $500 per month. That's an additional $6,000 a year in our Performance Club program. And by being a leader and teaching others how to join and stay in the Performance Club as well, you can earn thousands more as well. So trips all over the world, cash bonuses every month just from our Performance Club program. And it's been a blast. But I want you to hear from a few folks. And I'm going to start by going to Ohio to Mr. John Fehrenbach. John?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Jim, thank you very much. I'm telling you what, every time I see this presentation, it gets me cranked up. It reminds me why I started my business a little over 2.5 years ago. My past is varied. I've done everything from windshield installation to selling direct mail, and most recently, I've been involved in the steel business. When I got involved or was looking for another business, and I was introduced to Legal Shield, um, I immediately saw the value of having a subscription service type of business and what value that would bring to me and the residual income that Jim has already spoken about. I certainly was looking for a product or service that I knew that everybody could wrap their arms around, why they needed it and how they could use it, and virtually a no-brainer as to why they needed it. And finally, I was looking for a business that I knew I could pass on to other people and help them be successful in the business. Legal Shield certainly hits all of those boxes, and the results have been amazing in my business. I'm building a team, and I'm watching my income grow exponentially. I truly feel that I'm a business for myself, but not by myself, as represented by the team that's on the Zoom call this evening. Jim, thank you for the time.
John, thank you very much. And now we'll go to Louisiana to Tammy Martin. Tammy?
Well, good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm not dressed very professionally. I just got in from my jujitsu class, which is really amazing that you get to center your life around your priorities with this position. And I started my Legal Shield business back in 2018. Prior to that, I came from another direct sale company. I was a senior sales director for Mary Kay for 14 years. But what I love about Legal Shield is the first thing that, the residual income, that's like a no-brainer. When you can own your book of business and you are able to will that down to your children and your grandchildren and realize the impact that it will have on your family, that was amazing to me. And I can just imagine my great-great-grandchildren one day saying, well, my great-great-grandma did this Legal Shield and we got all this money and now we're able to live this life. And so that's just amazing to me. That's powerful. There's no other company on the planet that will give you that, and then the leadership and the mentors that we have with this company is amazing. I mean, they're like top of the line, millionaire club members, people that are living the life, and but they help you. And it doesn't matter whose team you're on or who you're affiliated with. If you see somebody on the Zoom, reach out to them. We're all here to be each other's cheerleader and to help each other. But the money, I don't know if Jim mentioned this, but they have increased our bonuses here at a Dallas convention that we went to. And oh my gosh, there's like $700 on the table for all new associates. I mean, I didn't have that, but I say run and grab it because $700, heck, that could buy you 2 or 3 Christmas presents, So I'm just excited. I'm excited for what the future holds for me and my family. And the greatest privilege that I have with this company is being able to lead other people into that lifestyle. That to me, that serving them and helping them and watching them grow is a blessing and it's a privilege. So thank you for asking me to share, Jim. Back over to you.
Thank you, Tammy. Appreciate it. And now to Colorado Springs, Colorado, to Sonora Danzler.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much, Jim, for allowing me to share with everyone. And just real quickly, a little bit about myself and my story is I came from corporate America. I was working 70, 80 plus hours per week. It was crazy. And I was just missing everything. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can probably relate to that. As a matter of fact, if you are still relating to that, go ahead, put a number 1 right there in the chat for me. But I was missing all the important things to me, guys. So I was missing, my family, missing my husband, the kids, faith, fitness, finances, all the very important things that were dear to me. And then I saw this opportunity and I said, hey, you know what? I could probably do this in my spare time and it would definitely fit into my super busy schedule. So fast forward till today. Well, I'm still extremely busy and my schedule is just off the chain, kids and my fitness and everything else that I do. But guess what? I do this business part-time. I currently, right now, I follow this amazing system that we have. I stay plugged in. I work in my local market here. I'm a local market leader here in the state of Colorado and Colorado Springs, and I work with small businesses, their owners, their employees, and their families, but I'm also building a team from coast to coast, which is really, really exciting to me. So what's next for me? You probably want to know. Well, definitely follow me on social media, but I am going to continue to build my business coast to coast and also introduce this services and these products to as many people as I most possibly can, because that's the most important part to me, is being able to make a difference in all the lives that I touch, because there's just so many people that are out there that needs this membership, and not only need the membership, but they also need this opportunity. And I just can't wait to get back out there and definitely make additional differences in their lives. Thanks so much, Jim, for allowing me to share, and I'll turn it back to you.
Sonora, thank you very much. I've got one more for you out of Tennessee. We're going to go to Mr. Chris Corley. Chris?
Thanks so much, Jim. Great presentation. Thanks so much for hosting it. 6 years ago, I saw a presentation just like this. My background is in education, but when I saw the presentation, I was unemployed, and my wife was working double shifts as a waitress, but I just couldn't resist. I had to get the membership, and I had to get started with the opportunity. I got started. They had bonuses on the table 6 years ago, similar to the bonuses that they have now. I worked really hard. I followed the system, and I was able to get a $10,000 bonus in just 3 months working the system. That type of money is on the table right now. So when I heard Mr. Tanner talk today, I got just as excited as I did 10 years ago. I'm an executive director, and I'm grateful. I relocated myself to Tennessee from Philadelphia. My wife, from her choice, it's her choice that she stays home and works from home. And those are the choices that this business and this opportunity has afforded myself and my family. I couldn't be more grateful to this business, as well as the team and the leadership that you see right here. What's in the future for me? I want to bring as many people along and help them so that they want to relocate. They'll have the same choices, if not greater, than I do today. Thank you so much, Mr. Tanner, for allowing me to share. I'll turn it back over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Chris Corley. And as we close up, I'll just say we looked at this slide before, right? And I said I was going to make the case for our incredible company. And let's talk about this company. 51 years in business, started from a need, not started from greed. Not a founder looking to find a way to become wealthy, but a founder looking for a way to create justice for all. And that's what 4.4 million individuals are living right now, is in a just world where they have access to their rights, where they have a voice in advocacy. They don't wonder what to do or who to call because they have Legal Shield. Is there a need in the marketplace? Let me ask you this. Who do you know that's been pushed around or bullied? Who feels frustrated or unheard? Who do you know that owns a business and would love to have the same access to legal counsel that Fortune 500 companies have? Who do you know that owns a business and would like for their employees to have the same robust benefits package that other bigger companies have? There is a need in the marketplace for what we do. And our product today, now listen, when I got started, we got a laminated plastic card, like a Blockbuster video card with our law firm's phone number on it. And with that, we got to 1 million customers. So that was pretty good. But today, with our incredible mobile app, it allows you to take a picture of a ticket and send it right to the law firm instantly and securely. Take a picture of a document you want to have reviewed, to be able to contact your law firm and have them send them pictures, have them call you back at a time you pick. All of the power of what Legal Shield is now made more accessible than ever with the technology that we all have in our pocket called a smartphone. So the product works, it's within reach of the consumers, it's priced right, and there's a desperate need for people to have access to their rights. Listen, we in the United States, we have the Constitution, we have the Bill of Rights, we have the system. What was missing, what Harlan Stonecipher saw that was missing, was the access. Because if you have to check your checking account before you can check your rights, the fact is most of us don't have any. And so this balances the scales of justice back to the individual. And how about the compensation? We are compensated in a miraculous way, I think, a way that has been transformative in the lives of my friends. 30,000 people in this company earn monthly residual income checks. 300 families have earned at least $1 million, and some of those 300 families have earned up to $40 million. Our compensation is second to none. And what about the timing? The fact is that some of you are saying, listen, I wish I got started where Harlan Stonecipher started 51 years ago. The truth is he had to forge the path. He had to create the system. He had uncertain times, and most of his times were uncertain. But today, with 4.4 million customers, with 6,000 attorneys, with an average attorney tenure of 22 years, with $110 million paid to those law firms last year, right now is the time to help us go from 4.4 million customers to 44 million, to 50 and 60 million customers. What we do matters, and it's noble, important work. And the fact is, we asked you to come to this presentation because we need your help getting to the masses this good news that you learned today. And so become an associate. You can start part-time. You can work this business from anywhere. We used to say from home, but today, from the palm of your hand, wherever you are. As you heard, you own your book of business. It's willable to your estate. The residual income is paid out for the lifetime of the membership, not for my lifetime or your lifetime. We have Fast Start to Success training classes happening every day to help you launch your business the right way. Ongoing training throughout the week to help support and motivate you as you get going. And we're going to align you with personal mentors. You've been to presentations before where you heard somebody say that they were going to help you, only to find out what you were really going to get was a manual and maybe a pep talk, like go get them, Tiger. That's not how things work here. Our culture is different. We rise together. The work we're doing is important work. The mission is clear: equal access to equal justice for every family in every community in the United States and Canada. We're going to work with you because we need your help making this happen and seeing it through. In a business that you can start today for only $49. So here's what I'd like you to do. Get back to the person that invited you to this presentation. Let them know you saw it all the way through. And if they're sitting next to you, I hope you high five them or hug them. That's what I would do, because this business can change everything. For those of you that are coachable, have a burning desire to succeed, and are willing to do the activities that our system lays out for you. So enroll in our memberships, become an associate, get connected to the training that we have available for new associates. Again, that's called Fast Start to Success class. We're going to get you plugged into all of that. But again, all you have to do is get back to the person that invited you. They've got a website link for you. In 3 minutes, you can get these services for you and your family if you have one. You can get started as an associate so we can turn your website on, set up your direct deposit, and position you to start earning income so we can create your story of how you launched your Legal Shield business, earned income right away, qualified for $700 in bonuses as a new Fast Start and manager, and then all the great stuff that happens with that. This is your journey. This is an incredible opportunity. This is a company that has stood the test of time. With 4.4 million customers and counting, you don't have to wonder if Legal Shield is real or if Legal Shield works. You can join in with us and help us take it to the next level. And for those of you that are doing that today, I truly mean this. Congratulations. We appreciate you. We're glad you're here. I want to thank all the folks that shared their story. I'm glad they're here. But for those of you that are accepting this invitation to join the mission today, congratulations to you especially. And welcome to Legal Shield. Good night, everybody.